This is another really neat piece that's been kind of languishing on the dresser in the queue, waiting for me to get a little more information on it. And then my buddy Kevin, Knife Nerdery, he picked one up with all the documentation and whatnot. So when he got one and sent me an excited video, I was able to screenshot some info off of it. This one actually came to me through Knife Rabbit, like the Florinox, and he's always on the lookout for weird knives and scooping them up for me to pick up. So this is a Basic Tools. Let's see here, focus. Basic Tools out of Japan, Centurion Mk.1. It is obviously a lever release, kind of a lockback style or a pick lock style. If it was a lockback, this would be a separate bar with a spring, whereas this is a hooked back spring that engages with a notch in the tang. Focus. Focus. Why are you doing this? Engages with a notch in the tang right there to lock the blade in the open position. It is a very, very stiff back spring. You definitely need the advantage of this long lever arm to be able to easily lift it out of the locking notch. It's also a pretty deep locking notch, so you really have to swing it out pretty far. There's no chance of this thing accidentally unlocking on you. I want to say these were made in the 80s. I didn't see any dates on the paperwork that he had. These were made over in Japan, brass frames, stainless blades, some really lovely paper micarta of some sort. I don't know if it's actually micarta or if it's some sort of Japanese version of micarta. Focus. But it has aged very nicely. It stayed pretty much dead flat. Might be lifting a little bit at the corners, but it's held up very well. It is a bit of a chonker, but nice high grind on it with relatively thin blade stock would make it a very, very good slicer. And, a really neat alternative to basically was, the other option was a $110. So, kind of a neat piece. I want to say these go anywhere from 50 to 100, maybe a little bit more if it was in like super pristine condition with the box and the paperwork and everything. This one is nicely centered, which nobody cared about back then, so it's actually kind of surprising. No real gaps in the back spring. Looks like these were put together with threaded fasteners, and then the heads of the screws were ground off flush, so it's not really able to be disassembled, but that's typical of knives of the period. Knives then weren't made to be taken apart. You flush it out if you need to, squirt some WD-40 in there, and call it good. It is somewhat one-handable to close if you need to. Sometimes it feels like this actually wants to like lift the blade out, but I don't think that's actually intentional. I think that's just friction. It is pretty easy to pinch the blade open though. You don't really need the nail nick. So yeah, like I said, I've been putting this one off for a while, and finally pulled it out for Micarta Monday. And it's a really neat little piece, a really neat addition to the lever release lockback drawer that I have going nowadays. And pretty stoked that I finally picked one of these up. So there you go.